Hi, this is I call myself Mr. John. Let me, that's my first name, and last name is Schindler, but it's easier for people to remember John, so I just say Mr. John. And that's what my serials and videos are going to refer to as Mr. John. And the channel name is going to be The Best Time of My Life is Now. And I'm going to be talking about old age problems and things like that for the elderly. And this is more of an introduction video to the series. I'm 88 years old and loving it, and I believe a lot of things go on in older people's lives that discourages a lot of people, and but I believe that right now is the best time of my life. I'm not have to be at work, and I don't have to run for other people or do anything. So I get up when I want to. I go to bed when I want to, and uh, I do pretty much what I want. And I found that I live in a neighborhood with other elderly people. Probably this development, over half of them are in their 80s and 90s, and I see a lot, and I've seen a lot of problems. I have many problems, and everybody else has problems. But it's an attitude type thing, and the choices that you make makes the difference. And I was going to talk in this series talk about different things that elderly people uh, run into. You know, things health concerns, traveling. How do you get help each other and get to the doctors and because problems family is not always available to take you where you need to go, and some of us still have driver's license. They haven't kicked us all of us off the road yet, but I assume that one of these days they'll tell me that I need to retire from driving, and they're probably right. But in the meantime, um, I just thought I'd do this series and try to improve the way you look at life and improve your life. And I'll be talking about things like fear and loss of independence and loneliness and trouble, uh, everyday activities, trouble in everyday things, and have have health problems that need to be taken care of. And being lonely is probably the one at the top of the list. And how some people handle it, and some handle it really well, and others don't handle it at all. Uh, they let it affect you, and it's all about choices and all about your attitude. And I believe that talking about these things, maybe uh, I can give you some ideas of what to do, and other people around you can do the same thing as you just apply yourself. And I believe it's a great day and a great time in my life, and then I think it'll be a great time in your life. So I thank you, Lord. I thank you for putting me here, and I and these are some of some of the subjects I'm going to talk about. For old age, um, being 88, I mean, I feel I'm doing pretty well compared to most. Uh, and I have aches and pains. My eyes are going bad, and my ears are already bad. And I struggle to get up, and I got to, if I go on, sit down on the floor for any reason, which is seldom because it takes a plan to get down and a plan to get back up. And so these are the things us being older run into these problems. And I think we should discuss them, and maybe somebody, people who are watching this can leave opinions about things and ideas. And I know I was getting very by myself. After a while, I get lonely and bored, and I just asked God one day. I said, "I'm bored." You know, that's what I said. Lord, I am bored. Well, the next day, uh, my I had about 3 texts on my phone before I got up, and people calling me, and from then on, things just keep happening, and the things I plan to do keeps falling by the wayside, and, but this here, these videos, I wanna talk about these kinda things, and so I'm gonna schedule it, and I'm gonna do it, and, hopefully, it'll be helpful to you, and, and also, you know, there's ways to do help people and to help yourself. Uh, I know that let me read you a little thing here from Job 12:12. Wisdom is with aged men, and with the length of their days and understanding. So what it's talking about is you're not done yet. God don't believe in retirements, and so I don't know why we think we need to believe in retirements. I basically retired from working at a certain place every day, but uh, now I work for free. I got a different career, and it's made up a bunch of little different parts, and hopefully it's helping a lot of people. And I think that takes away a lot of the loneliness. Takes a lot of gives you something to think about. It keeps you moving too. It keeps you out of the house. One of the biggest problems I see around my development, they don't come out of the house. You have to go over there and knock on the door, and you have to wait 5 minutes for them to struggle to get to the door to open it. And that's because they're not moving. And if you don't move, as they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And a lot of them have lost it, or are pretty close to losing it. So I thought maybe we'd talk about that one day too, and different things. And the things I do is I got a little list here of things I do is like I volunteer and I'm volunteer to be on the HOA board and be the treasurer, and and especially since nobody else would do it, I was kind of just sitting there looking at it. I said, "Well, I probably can." It's basically, balancing a checkbook with a lot of people on it. But so I do that, and it's a little help. It helps people and takes care of little things, and I make videos of my life, talk about my life, and from as a child, and I keep continuing as I get older. And it was in lieu of my family wanting me to write a book about my life because I had a very unusual, I think, a very unusual life, and a very interesting life. And so I decided, well, I'm not a person who can write very well. So I thought, well, I'll just talk about it on the video. And I found it kind of interesting because I put videos out there, and I get like 80, 90 hits, and my family isn't that big. You can add up all my cousins and grandkids and great grandkids, and don't add up to that. So and I know they're not watching all of them. Only a couple of my family are watching them yet now. So I find it interesting that other people would be interested in my life, but I guess it must mean something. I don't know, but so I decided to do this here series of videos also. And I don't not stopping the other one, but I'm just start these because I've I've been pushed by the Lord to do something like this, and I hopeful. I'm very hopeful that maybe give you some insight, even the younger people, some insight of what old people go through, and what all the problems are, and how emotional things are, um, and how their life goes. And let me see. My say, I'm yeah, I started out. I used to for my church. I used to uh, run the video camera of the sermons, and then I take the chip out of the camera and go home and process it and put it on YouTube for the church. And I also um, helped out on and with the website and with the app for the church, things like that. And I found that uh, when I was saved, I was 74 years old when I was saved, and I found out that God wanted me to pray for people. I mean, I could just be standing in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, I get I get a message, or sometimes a verbal message, saying, "Pray for such and such." And sometimes he tells me what to pray for, and sometimes he don't. So I do that, and I found out I also a lot of times I get visions, and the visions help me pray for whatever needs to be prayed for. And so that's one things that keep me going. And basically, um, since most the people in this subdivision that are single are women, because it seems like the old men die off fast, and I'm the last one on my road that's a man, and all the rest of them, if they're not married, they're women who used to be. So they run into problems, little things like as climbing up on the ladder and changing the curtains for them, or putting the curtains up for them, or changing the light bulb, and and they have a hard time doing a lot of stuff because their husband used to do it all for them, and he take care of everything. He's the one that took care of the bills usually, and and also handle all the problems of the house. He knew who to call, who to get, and or something. A lot of times, he knew how to fix it himself. Now, all of a sudden, they're gone, and the women don't have any skills in that area because they depended on their husband to do it all. So these are things that I do to keep active and to help, because being active is a very important thing, and people do need help. And so uh, I would like talk about that too at one point in these series. And there's on old age. I like Albert Einstein, his quotes and that, and he said, um, "How many people are trapped in everyday habits, part numb, part frightened, part indifferent? To have a better life, you must choose on how we are living." That's keeps on going. You got to choose. It's your choice how you live your life. It's your choice. Whether you want to be bored, or your choice if you want to get out and be with people and help them and help yourself at the same time. It's things like God gave you this choice. You go help somebody else, they get blessed and you get blessed. And they come to help you, you get blessed and they get blessed. It's a win-win situation. So, and I would like to really think about that and talk about that. So that's that's the thing about growing old, and you find yourself you're slowing down, and it takes you longer to do things. What used to take you an hour now takes you a half a day. So why not? I always use the comments as, well, I work for 5 and rest for 10. So, but eventually it gets done, not fast, but sometimes I know in the average though, it's a lot faster than getting my family over here to help me do it. So, so that's the way it works, and because your family's got a life, and then they got to take care of their stuff and their problems and their life, and so you, you have to innovate, do it yourself. Sometimes getting 2 old people to do it. I know, if right now, it's dangerous to go up and down the ladder, so usually you get another old person, and they come over and hold the ladder and steady you as you go up to change the light bulb and hand you the new light bulb and when you take out the old one, and so but it gets done, and I so this is the kind of thing that I like to talk about, and in Isaiah, let me see here. Isaiah 3 had it's Isaiah 46, 3-4. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnants of the house of Israel, who have been upheld by me from birth, who have been carried from the womb. Even to your old age I am he, and even the gray hairs I will carry you. I have made and I will bear. Even I will carry and will deliver you. So God is with you all the time, and that's some of the things that Titus 2, 1-5 talks about the old age, and he says, but as you speak the things that are proper for sound doctrine, that the older men be sober and reverent, tempered, sound in faith, in love, in patience. The older women likewise, they may be reverent in behavior, not slanderous, not given too much wine, teachers of good things, that they admonished the young women to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, homemakers, good, obedient to their own husbands, and the word of God may not be blasphemed. So you're not over with. You're supposed to be, the day you die is when you retire from here, from this physical life, and to a better life. Hopefully that we'll all see each other in heaven and in a better life and total love and we start working for God. You're not going to go up and sit around in heaven singing and walking around doing nothing. He doesn't train you down here how to work and how to take care of people and how to do things, just for you to go up and sit on a mansion or something and do nothing. And so look forward to your new life and make sure you're going to that new life, because that's a great place. And we'll all, and I hope we'll see all of you there. And as far as volunteering, there's things like volunteering that will help you out too. Again, I like there's a Job 32:7. I said, Age should speak. The multitude of years should teach wisdom. Well, if you're 80, like 88, like me, you've seen a lot of things, and unfortunately, I repeated the same problems that my parents did, and their parents, and their parents, and I see it today. Uh, the younger crowd who thinks they know everything, that they're believe in scientists and all that, they're making the same problems they're having the same problems that I had, and failing, and have to start over and redo everything that I have done. And if they just stop and talk to an old man who's maybe he's in your family, that's been and seen a lot, he can pass his wisdom or his knowledge onto you, and maybe save you a lot of grief. But unfortunately, most people have pride, and like I did when I was younger, and I can do it myself. Yes, you can do it yourself and take 10 years doing it, and you could have had it fixed. You had done the whole thing in 1 year if you had a little sense to talk to, your father or some other person who's been around a while. So I, as an old people, you should think about, why do you want to repeat everything when it's already been done? There is nothing on this earth. It looks like everything's new, and everything that's going on, but as far as the format or the way you do things, it's the same as everybody else has done before you, and everything that we do now. I went through. I said, well, my grandfather had the same problems. The environment was different. He is back in the horse and buggy days, but the problems are very similar, same. They're emotional, and that has nothing to do with your environment. It has to do with your mind, and how you handle it, and how you look at things, and how you look at people. Because people are the main environment that bonds or brings you together, or divides you. So think about it. And I'd like to, talk about maybe health problems, and maybe give you ideas of what to do as far as looking at health products or something like that, or bills. Now, I went through uh, 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 businesses, and lost a lot of money in that, and I come up with a way to how to get out of it, and it worked fine. But but if I went through this, I say, if you listen to me, if you got, or your maybe your parents, or your grandfather, or somebody that went through it and now is out clean, out of debt, talk to them, and go to your pastor if you go to church. And that the Bible will tell you how to get out of debt, how to run a business, how to get a business going. Everything that you need is in the Bible, but it's a little bit, you got to dig for it. And I say that's what the pastor should be, somewhat knowing how to get through the Bible, and teach you how to do these things. And I'm certain that there's always somebody in the congregation that has done what you just done, and got out of it, and probably maybe even had a worse time than you. So go pick on their brain. And but then after that, though, um, I'm really hoping to help people think on common things, Everything you do has an effect. The whole world is run on sowing and reaping. Your mouth sows bad things and and uh, and causes problems that you're going to reap that. If your mouth speaks love and your action speaks love, that's what you're going to reap. That's what you get back. You got to make a choice. It's all choices. How do you want to live? You want to live miserable or do you want to live happy? And I choose happy. And I hope that this series will go along that direction and help you out. Well, anyways, I thank you for listening to me, and I pray and hope that uh, I'll contact you again in another video, and maybe we between your comments and what's going on, we can improve it and cover areas that I never thought about carrying. But you have a fantastic, fantastic life, a beautiful life. And amen. See you later.